Oh
아웃되는 친구들이
no!
한 명, 두 명 정도는 있어요.
No!
얘네들이
I don't think you guys realize how
노력을 하지
painful this
않을까
is.
싶습니다.
Oh crap! We're starting Rise of BANGTAN series, and this is made by an army, so you know this video is gonna be made with passion. It's not gonna be made for the views. They're not gonna sensationalize things. It's gonna be made with love and passion, and you can always see that. And you can always feel it too. It's gonna make me emotional, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna learn a lot more about the environment and the context that they grew up in. It's a really detailed 22 chapter, almost documentary style video. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be just about BTS and the whole journey they took about the struggles and the haters that they got, maybe even the industry about Korea. I'm sure I'm going to learn all of those things. I know a little bit about Korea from the K-dramas that I watch on this channel, but I don't know much. And plus, you guys see this jacket that I'm wearing right now? This jacket is 20 years old. This jacket is probably even 25 years old. My dad used to wear this jacket when he goes on a date with my mom before I was born. My dad was trying to flirt with my mom. My dad was trying to woo my mom. And my mom, she was playing hard to get because she had a lot of boys going after. She was beautiful, she was smart, and she was really cute when she was young. And my dad would pull out this jacket, wear it on their first date, and maybe help to pull my mom. And now I wear this jacket. I also wear this jacket on a first date quite a few times, actually. And those dates usually went pretty well. So this jacket has a really deep history within my bloodline, and it serves right that I'm wearing this right before I start this journey, but it's really hot inside, so I'm just gonna take it off. Okay, Rise to BANGTAN. Created by a BANGTAN fandom army. Contents pulled from various sources tell the story of the best of our ability. We do not own the rights to any of the following content. This also shows you how much passion the army has creating a content like this. RM, so little baby, man.
2013년 1월 7일
2013.
몬스터의 일지. 새로운 한 해가 밝았다. 방 PD님이 어제 나에게 말씀을 해주심으로써 뭔가 구체화된 것 같다. 그리고 집에 가서 혼자 자기 전에 앉아서 많은 생각들을 했다.
Wow, considering his age, he was maybe just 20s. And early 20s, he was mature for his age. A lot of people never necessarily mature like RM, especially at the young 20s. And you can tell RM was always this intelligent person who was considered with his speech. You can tell a lot about a person, the way they speak, whether they think about before they say something, whether they're careful about how they say certain things. And RM is like that now, but he was still also really careful and maybe even I would say articulate about his speech before, like when he was in early 20s.
뭔가 정말 각성하고 포텐셜을 한번 폭발시켜볼 생각이다. 인생을 마음먹은 대로 살되 마음대로는 살지 않겠다. 그렇게 다짐하고 올해는 정말 나의 해로 만들고 싶다는 생각뿐이다. 그래서 그렇게
Of course,
2013년 1월 7일 몬스터의 일지.
I love all of them, but I think RM is becoming my bias because his personality is similar to mine.
This whole
A little
phenomenon
bit, just a little bit.
Payment is interesting because people are adopting it as a lifestyle.
K-pop is Korean pop, and the thing that is just most remarkable about it is that it really is the all-in-one package. K-dramas, your K-food, the K-beauty. It really rolls into one, and you start slowly but surely kind of getting into the entire K-culture.
How big is the K-pop market? $3.4 billion.
What
They
the
can
beat?
sell out shows really quickly. We're talking about arena shows that can sell out in about 2 hours.
It's this really diverse, young audience who are so enthusiastic.
Psy's Gangnam Style was the one that put it, on the world's radar. But, Psy isn't even necessarily
Oh
the
my
archetype
gosh, I
of
remember
K-pop
this.
Korean celebrity.
There's the saying, stars are...
With Psy, the song became famous. The character in of itself, the singer, he didn't necessarily become worldwide famous. I think he's famous in Korea, but worldwide, nobody really knows. Everybody knows him from the song, but it wasn't like BTS.
K-pop stars, however, are not born. They are made.
After the Korean War in 1953, Koreans finally achieved true democracy in 1987 by obtaining direct election rights. And this led to a breeding of a new generation of teenagers that were focused not on the collective goal or ideal, but individualism and uniqueness. However, the music industry failed to recognize this completely different consumer base.
South Koreans became familiar with Western pop culture. Western pop music developed with phonographs and radio stations.
Michael Jackson, of
South
course.
Korean pop music, on the other hand, developed with the television. What we know as K-pop now really started in the early 90s.
Then came Strategy and Boys.
Who combined Korea's pop music
Look at the
with
clothes they're
Western
wearing.
influences of rap, rock, techno, and R&B, and started the craze that we know today.
This is what the teens were exactly craving for. It was like showing a light bulb to people living on kerosene lamps.
They keep on tackling social issues like reunification, environment, drugs, education. The Tupac of K-pop.
Strategy and Boys
Tupac of
disbanded
K-pop.
after just 4 years. Strategy changed the way Korean music and Korean society operates and thinks.
Now corporates see
Wow,
money.
they were like the first K-pop group. It's so crazy because my parents also went through this exact same this history. My parents were born in Mongolia, and before I was born, Mongolia also became a democratic country, while after being under Soviet Union for years, after being a communist country for years, my grandpa, my dad, my mom, they grew up in a communist country. And during my dad and mom's young teenage years, the country, Mongolia, became a democratic country. And we went through this exact same scenario. A lot of different artists coming up, everybody trying to find their own uniqueness, individualism. It was the same process, and I feel like I can relate to this a lot more because my mom and my dad tells these stories about the culture shift that they went through when they're young.
K-pop and idol businesses.
But what is the process behind generating South Korea's idols?
행사라던가 그 학교 로드 캐스팅, 뭐 백화점, 뭐
Casting in the
어디든지 가서
streets, like Jin.
그 인재를 발굴하는 그런 캐스팅 과정을 거쳐서요. 20-30명 정도의 그 좋은 친구들을 한 6개월에서 4-5년 정도 길게는 그렇게 트레이닝을 하게 되죠.
4 to 5 years.
Apprentices are here from 1 to 10 p.m. for 4 hours of lessons and 5 hours of practice. If they go to school, they have to be here from 6 to 10 and 5.
Look at her knees. And I think that this girl was crying while she was dancing. Wow, it's so cruel. It's a lot more cruel than I thought. Also, 4 to 5 years, that's a whole diploma time. That's a whole university time. Jeez.
Practice. If they go to
it's not guaranteed that you're going to be an idol too. There's a lot of cutting processes. What?
School, they have to be here from 6 to 10.
Singing class, dance class, house class, rap class.
I wonder if she made it.
Acting class and language class. I received this kind of strict training every single day, from morning to nighttime.
What is it about Korea that is making this entertainment that doesn't just work domestically, but internationally?
K-팝의 가장 큰 매력이 중독되는 멜로디가 있대요. 강렬한 퍼포먼스가 같이 이게 조합되는 게 굉장히 큰 시너지를 준다고. 얼굴이나 이런 거 봤을 때 완전 동양 사람인데 그런 서양의 느낌도 갖고 있으면서.
Anyone who's ever seen a K-pop video would know everyone just seems like these gods and goddesses of pop music.
Heavy makeup, all that stuff, very thin.
They're almost like untouchable. I think that's where the passion comes from too. They're just so high above you that you can't help but completely worship them.
한류 그 다음에 그런
That's definitely part of it.
아이콘, 새로운 문화 아이콘은 저희 때부터 시작을 할 것 같아요.
I can't. Logan Paul screaming BTS.
US TV debut. Make some noise for BTS.
5년 후 정도 정말 이제 미국까지 완전 진출하는 그런 그룹이 동양에서 나오지 않을까 싶어요.
The K-pop band at the UN General Assembly, BTS, becoming the first Korean artist to headline Wembley Stadium.
It is BTS Mania.
No, this gave me some goosebumps, this intro, man. Got me excited. Got my my blood pumping through my veins. Gangnam District, Seoul, South Korea. This is like the capital of Korea.
Hey
right?
yo,
the New York.
Hitman Bang
of Korea.
introduces Hit It, the second
Yeah.
audition. 프로듀서 방시혁이고요. 2011년 Hit It 힙합 오디션 두 번째 기회로 여러분을 찾아왔습니다. 제가 힙합 문화를 이끌어갈 여러분들을 찾고 있는데요. 2011년 Hit It 오디션 방탄소년단의 멤버가 될 주인공을 기다리고 있습니다. 올해 Hit It 오디션에서는요, 작년과는 다르게 랩, 댄스, 노래까지 다양한 장르에서 배틀 형식으로 이루어질 예정인데요. 왜냐면 힙합은 문화니까.
This explains why BTS started as a hip-hop group. At the time, like hip-hop was the trend. In America was the trend. All around the world, it was the trend. So before they started casting, they were looking for building a specifically hip-hop group. Hey, if you want to watch full uncut reactions, click the link in the description. You can check out full unedited reactions for TV shows, music reactions, and album reactions, which is in the description for Patreon. As you guys know, most of the reactions that I do on this YouTube channel, it's copyrighted, so unfortunately it is demonetized. It is not monetized. So maybe if you want to support the channel, just consider supporting the channel. You can click the link in the description for Patreon, or if you just want to check out the full reactions, again, on Patreon. Thank you. That's it. Bye-bye.
얼마나 매력적.
Getting into one of those entertainment agencies doesn't guarantee their debut these days.
방탄소년단의 모든 멤버는 지방에서.
That's what's scary about it, though. It doesn't guarantee anything. So you can train for years and you're not guaranteed anything. Even, let's say you go past 4 or 5 years of practicing and you debut. You pass all the tests. What if the public doesn't accept you? Then you're done. Your career is done. And then what are you going to do afterwards? You probably didn't go to college. If you did go to college, you probably didn't take it seriously because you were concentrated on the training all the time. You put your body, your voice to this hellish training for 4 or 5 years. You probably changed your face a little bit for some cases. And then, what are you going to do if you fail? And the percentage of failure is so high. It's a really, really harsh world of arts. Even more harsher than singing and all the other things. It's everything combined together, creating this idol. Yeah.
I think what makes K-pop is the time that we
Jenny.
spend as a trainee.
I didn't know she spoke English this well.
We all live together, sort of like a boarding school, like a training version.
Whoa, I didn't expect Jenny from Blackpink to speak English like this. I think she's a native speaker. She had a kind of, I don't know where the accent came from. They had a little bit of a UK accent to it, no? The way she pronounced certain words.
저희 진짜 연습생 때 항상 여기를 다녔었고 또 이 밑이 바로 연습실이에요. 저희 지하층이. 그래서 저희가 연습실을 항상 다니면서 저희 이모님께서 너무 저를 잘 챙겨주시고.
Imagine, I hope they go to this old place that they used to go to when they're trainees and they see the auntie and hopefully they help the auntie in a certain way because, she used to make this food for them all the time. Also, seeing people sit on the ground is something I haven't seen before, especially when you come to a restaurant. There's no chair. You sit on the ground, and I think it's a Korean cultural thing.
심지어 방학 때는 하루에 2끼를 다 여기 와서 먹었어요.
That does look good. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, man. Please give me an update. Please. How is she doing right now? Did BTS, everybody pay back with her? Oh my gosh. If I go to Korea, am I allowed to go to this place and eat her food and experience the food that they were eating, BTS was eating when they're trainees? Oh, now I know she's even sweet. Yeah, I really wish BTS members they took care of her after they became successful.
BTS, and I'm here for the first English vlog finally.
어쩌면 이건 학교나 사각의 빙 위에서의 나만의 삶 누군가는 그저 판관에 대한 정당화할 뿐이라 하겠지만
네, 안녕하세요. 랩몬스터입니다. 20살의 리더고요. 이름처럼 팀에서 랩을 맡고 있습니다. 제가 언더그라운드로 원래 가려고 했었는데 근데 이제 그 기획사 오디션 언더그라운드에 유명한 기획사가 있었거든요. 언터처블의 슬리피 선배님이랑 하요비 선배님이 같이 오셨어요. 그래서 저를 보시고 아마 슬리피 선배님이 저를 마음에 들어 하신 건지 네, 연락처를 주시고 가셨습니다.
I've been rapping for like since 2007. It's like 7 years. When I came here, it was 2010. It's like 3 years ago. The company told me that you don't need to dance first, but you know it has changed. The project, the whole thing was changing, and I had to dance, you know, to survive. I don't know how to move my body, you know, like technically beautifully.
Yeah, I understand RM
so
too.
I was really angry and I was just stressed out.
Look where he is now, though. He's a beautiful dancer now. And I can understand that if you're coming from the rap background, it's a pretty masculine background. Like the idea of dancing, it's quite feminine in your eyes, especially for starting like RM. And I can see why he would hate to dance. And he felt like he didn't have any talent, but he never tried it before.
Time passed by. My dancing teachers, they showed me that dancing
is a cool thing.
I have to go now. Okay, so finish. Dance is cool. Dance is good stuff, right? Right. But rapping is cooler. Hip hop, yeah.
That laugh when he ended. This reminds me, if you've never been in front of the camera before, it's quite awkward at first. You can definitely tell for RM it was also awkward. Try like recording yourself trying to talk about something. It's weird. And I was wondering, where did RM learn to speak English? Did you just learn from the rapping? I bet he used to listen to a lot of American artists, and he definitely has an American accent. Maybe he grew up in America, or he just learned it through internet. If he did, that tells you how much high of an IQ RM has. And RM is known for having a high IQ and being smart. 진!
2013년 1월 24일 지낼지.
안녕하세요. 방탄소년단의 맏형 진입니다. 나이는 22살이고 팀에서 보컬을 맡고 있습니다.
학교를 등교를 하다가 길거리 캐스팅을 오늘은 다시 추워진 것 같다. 오랜만에 다시 겨울이 온 것 같았고 감기에 걸리지 않으려면 옷을 든든히 입어야겠다고 생각했다. 가족이 주위에서 날 챙겨주지 않으니 내가 챙겨야겠다는 그런 생각을 했다. 2013년 1월 24일 지낼지 끝.
It's also cool that they didn't know that they're going to be this successful, and they kept the journey from the beginning, so we get to experience it there, the journey now, at the beginning. Jungkook.
2013년 2월 8일 전국의 일지.
He really does look like a baby.
팀에서 춤, 노래를 담당하고 있습니다.
근데 자기가 슈퍼스타 K를 보고 떨어졌는데 오디션에서 명함을 많이 받았다. 그러면서 명함들이 이렇게
지금 시간에 11시 39분 댄스 레슨을 받. 오늘은 드디어 내가 졸업을 했다.
Middle school.
기분이 엄청 좋을 줄 알았는데 막상 졸업을 해보니.
So that graduation song, the first song that made before the debut, I listened to that right before this reaction. The song, the young and wild and free. In the lyrics he mentions, I just graduated middle school.
그렇게 썩 좋진 않다. 그렇다. 막내 졸업식에 진영이랑 나랑 슈가 형이랑 같이 갔는데 약간은 의젓해지지 않을까 하는 기대도 가져본다.
I want to watch. I saw a video of all of the members going to Jungkook's graduation. There was a video on it. I saw the thumbnail, but I didn't watch it. I need to watch that then. Also, one thing you see with all the BTS members, they're so much mature than kids around their age.
시민입니다. 나이는 19이고요. 팀에서 춤과 보컬을 맡고 있습니다.
If you're good at dancing, you're naturally good at. You're naturally athletic. Man.
저한테는 진짜 어려운 과제였던 것 같아요.
그때부터 항상 춤을 춰왔기 때문에
랩몬스터 형이랑 슈가 형이랑 작업 때문에 일찍 못 내려가는
That's RM's hair.
건 되게 안타깝게 생각하고 있는데 얼른 끝내고 푹 쉬러 갔으면 좋겠고 나도 이제 쉬러 갑니다.
Jimin was always like this,
평가 끝나고
caring.
점수 같은 거 나와요. 누가 A고 누가 B고 누가 C고
오늘의 할당 몸무게가 있어요.
리자?
몇 그램 빼고 막. 네. 와. 그래서 그거를 하루에 무조건 빼야 귀가를 할 수 있는. 못 빼면 뺄 때까지 하다 가야 돼요. 근데 그러고 나서 월말 평가 때 몸무게가 안 나오면은
Whoa, that is so bad when you're young. Because specifically with girls, hard cutting is terrible for you. Like you start to lose your, you're not gonna have your period probably. And that's going to have certain effect chemicals in your brain. It's going to affect everything for boys too. If you're not eating enough and you're under a certain weight, you're not going to produce enough testosterone. It's going to screw up your whole system. You're probably not going to be taller. It's going to affect your brain function, your height, and everything. If they're doing this before they go, oh no! No! I don't think you guys realize how painful this is.
같이 연습하다가 갑자기
I fought 3-4 years starting age 12 and I would do stretches like this in the exact same way. My teacher would step on my back while they would have my legs spread, so it literally feels like your muscles tearing apart from your bones. It's so painful. If you've never done this type of stretching where somebody's forcing you to spread your legs open, I cried every week when I stretched and people forced me to stretch while stepping on my back. I would cry. Oh my gosh, doing that to a little girl is...
진짜 너 왜 울어? 나 잘렸어. 그런 친구들이 너무 많아요. 갑자기 불안감 오면서 나도 언젠간 저렇게 될 수 있는 거구나.
그런 식으로 이렇게 뭐 이건 데뷔는 없다. 뭐 앞으로 앨범은 없다. 이렇게 아니면 뭐 누구 나가라. 이렇게 되는 건가. 경쟁, so 경쟁. Everything was 경쟁 that time.
연습생들끼리 엄청 경쟁.
Wow, man, this hits so hard because like I grew up in this type of environment, right? I'm thankful with the background that I had because I had good grandparents. Like I trained fighting 2-3 years and I was a drama kid and I would step on stages in front of thousands of people and I would do like comedy acts and we would train like them all the time. Nowhere near their level. Like my level of acting and drama was so minuscule compared to their effort that they're putting in. But even that was so painful. And with the competition amongst the friends, it's also nasty too. I always noticed the competition is even nastier among the girls. With boys, the competition is so straightforward. I think it's something evolutionary. With boys, if we're competing for a certain role, we just say, okay, let's see who's better. And if we got some problem, we can fight. We can get physical. Girls never do that. There's always, with girls, competition, it's so sneaky. I think that's the way to describe it. There has been a lot of gossips, arguments, and fights, and just based on the fact that girls are more interested in drama and acting. We had out of let's say 120 people, we had 5 boys, and then the rest of the 110, 115 was girls. So they were fighting for just 4 or 5 roles. And for us boys, we didn't necessarily have to compete that much because there was only 5 boys. And the competition amongst girls are vicious. They're so vicious amongst each other.
심하대요. 데뷔를 하려고
I remember having to send a good friend of mine home every month because they got eliminated from the test. Like, it's really harsh.
It wasn't a very happy vibe.
Starting at such a young age, I was just like, okay, if that's what it is, I have to do it. If that's what I want, if I want to chase my dreams, that's what I have to do.
The K-pop industry has faced criticism for its handling of trainees. Still, the lure of becoming a K-pop idol remains a huge draw for many.
Holy crap, that dancing move was ridiculous.
You read the news back
you
home,
could face plant and fall.
There's all the sorts of fear around K-pop and how it's treating the idols badly. But we do the same with football academies. We do it with all sorts of sport. You have to start kids young because that's how you develop the muscle memory. Is it any different to what we do?
That is a good point.
I don't think so.
Yeah. But it's something you don't see. Like with sports, for some reason, it makes sense to push that hard. But when it's like idols, for some reason, it feels different when it's singing and practicing and doing all those things. Maybe because it's accepted to push kids for sports, but it's not accepted to push kids for being singers and idols. Yeah.
13년 2월 14일 제이홉의 첫 로고.
First log.
Happy Valentine's Day.
It was during Valentine's.
네, 안녕하세요. 제이홉입니다. 나이는 20살이고요. 팀에서 랩, 춤, 노래를 담당하고
Oh,
있고
this is from the first video.
희망적인 존재입니다.
The Young and Wild and Free music video.
광주에서 막 이제 서울 올라와가지고 아무것도 모르고 죽기 살기로 서바이벌 그런
audition.
생활을 겪으면서 그렇게 지내고.
Also, the pain of audition is something. If you've never experienced it, it sucks. You're like standing in front of people who are supposed to judge you, and a lot of the casting agents, they have a certain attitude because they are giving you the roles and they feel like they're entitled to speak over you and they have much higher power to you. When I was doing the acting days, I would go on auditions for like commercials. And if you guys watched Marco Polo on Netflix, they're also doing casting at the time in Mongolia. And I would go to Marco Polo castings and different Netflix show castings, and I got oh man, it's so brutal. Like the feeling of rejection is also brutal. Like you're reading your lines and you're training in your garage at night all the time, and then you come home and you get nervous. And you start screaming, and just that rejection is so harsh. And I can't even imagine practicing dancing. Lines were, I feel like it's easier to practice than it is compared to dancing. Hey, if you want to watch full uncut reactions, click the link in the description. You can check out full unedited reactions for TV shows, music reactions, and album reactions, which is in the description for Patreon. As you guys know, most of the reactions that I do on this YouTube channel, it's copyrighted, so unfortunately it is demonetized. It is not monetized. So maybe if you want to support the channel, just consider supporting the channel. You can click the link in the description for Patreon, or if you just want to check out the full reactions, again, on Patreon. Thank you. That's it. Bye-bye.
지금까지 춰왔던 춤을 더 프로답고 더 멋있게 잘 추고 싶다. 이 두 가지 목표를 꼭 이뤄서 방탄이 데뷔할 때 대중분들께나 팬분들께 꼭 좋은 모습으로 보여드리고 싶다. 2013년 2월 14일 제이홉의 첫 로그 끝.
I think J-Hope was wearing the same beanie hat on the first music video that I just saw, Young, Wild and Free. That music video, J-Hope was wearing the same. That's Jimmy singing.
위기가 많이 있었어요. 방탄소년단으로 합류하기까지 위기가 많이 있었는데 그때마다 정말 놀라울 정도의 그 발전들을
Watermelons, they look so good. I hope all those people that helped BTS succeed before they were famous, they got also paid really well. they got rewarded for
연습
it.
시간을 강제하지도 않았고 생활을 통제하지도 않았습니다. 모든 것에 자유를 주고 멤버들이 자발적으로 참여할 수 있게 했습니다. 그들에게 딱 한 가지만을 요구했습니다. 방탄소년단의 음악은 방탄소년단 내면에 있는 이야기가 되어야 한다는 것이었죠.
2013년 3월 5일
슈가.
약자를 약하게 만들고 강자를 강하게 만들었지. 강자니까 약한 자 당연히 그렇게 당하게 만들었지.
안녕하세요, 슈가입니다. 나이는 21살이고요. 팀에서 랩을 맡고 있습니다. 저 같은 경우는 이제 2010년에
It was always surprising to me that Suga was like the heaviest rapper. When he's rapping, he's like almost a completely different persona, and in real life, he looks the most. I don't know if the soft is the right word, but in terms of the personality, he is the most softest one. And that rapping has always been a surprise to me. But also one note about the dancing practices they do. Imagine how many calories they're burning. While they're cutting weight, they're dancing for hours every single day. Oh my gosh. And you're supposed to be eating at that age. You need to grow. So you're going to be so malnutritioned, tired, not eating enough calories, and burning thousands of calories every day from the moving you're doing while doing dancing practices.
히릿이라는 전국 랩 오디션이 있었는데 2등을 해서 네, 이제 회사에 들어오게 됐습니다. 그리고 연습생이 되었죠. 일주일 넘게 지금 타이틀곡 작업을 하느라 약간 강행군을 하고 있는데 나의 인내심의 한계를 느끼고 있다. 수도 없이 많은 수정들을 하고 있어서 어쩔 수 없이 아침에 잘 수밖에 없는 상황이 됐다. 빨리 여러분께 좋은 음악을 들고 찾아갔으면 하는 바람이 크다.
What's beautiful
형들을 보면
about this
정말
is the fact that they didn't know they're going to be successful.
고생이 많다.
Oh.
그리고 형들은 매일 한 6시나 7시쯤에 들어와서 자는데 정말 대단한 것 같다.
Did he get an injury on his knees?
많습니다. 이제 식단도 하고 있고 그리고 이번 주 들어서 이제 자켓 앨범 사진을 대비해서 이제 프로필 사진 같은 걸 찍는데
Watching the music videos in chronological order while watching the rise of Bangtan is such a good idea because now I have a context of the music videos and the albums I'm going to listen to while I'm watching these documentaries. I know the background of how they did the behind the scenes shots, what it took them to write the lyrics, and what were going through their minds while they're writing the lyrics and the albums and everything.
괜찮은 것 같아요. 역시 저는 슈가 씨의 사진이 제일 마음에 들어요.
당연히 전정국이죠. 이 사람이 제일 잘 나온 것 같아요. 누군지 모르겠는데 아우 잘생겼어.
일단 전 아니에요. 최초로 양심적인 진영이 슈가나 지민이 잘 나왔어. 지민이 잘 나왔어. 지민이.
카메라 배터리가 없어서 빨리 찍고 할 말이 있는데 오늘은 우리 팀의 특징에 대해서 일단 우리 팀의 리더 포스가 최고인 것 같다. 그런데 우리 팀 리더의 장난기가 많아서 귀여운 면도 엄청 많다는 사실.
복장을 합니다. 나중에 보고 있어.
그리고 하고자 하는 게 있으면 꼭 해야 돼서 정말 멋있는 형인 것 같다. 그다음 슈가 형. 우리 슈가 형은 옆집 동네 형 같다. 장난기가 너무 많고.
I'm so glad that we get to see Suga this active and happy. and
진짜
loud.
멋있다. 다른 사람 같아. 그리고 막내 귀엽다. 하는 짓도 어벙벙, 말하는 것도 어벙벙. 내가 얘를 귀엽다고 하면 다 이상하게 생각할 것 같다. 아무튼 귀엽다. 그리고 우리 팀 맏형 지인 형 보다 알다시피 우리 팀 비주얼이라서 잘생겼다. 그래서 가끔 부럽다. 요리도 잘한다. 그리고 우리 팀의 제이홉 형 로고 찍을 때
바지를 샀다!
소리 안 맞아? 그래도 우리 팀의 엄마 같은 존재다. 춤도 잘 추고 춤 잘 추는 엄마? 그런 느낌? 그리고 우리 팀의 매력을 한몫하는 것 같다. 그렇지 않는가?
Yeah, you're the happiness of the group, Jimin.
친구들이 그랬는데.
I can say like Jimin and J-Hope, they're like the source of happiness and care for the whole group.
귀여운 것 같아. 나만 그렇게 생각하는가? 일단 이거 말한 건 비밀이고 2013년 3월 25일 지민의 일지 끝.
It's hard to compliment yourself, and I didn't compliment himself that much.
시기가 다가오고 있다는 걸 좀 몸소 절절하게 좀 느꼈고 내일부터는 정말 지금 폭풍 전야인 것 같다. 내일부터는 진짜 뭔가 각오가 돼서 왔다. 열심히 달리고 하면 안 될 것도 없을 것 같다는 생각이.
사실 이제 이 로그를 끝으로 이제 저희가 데뷔 전까지는 로고가 없을 것 같습니다.
아쉽네요.
아쉽다.
다음에 또 만나.
때 이제는 우리가 헤어져야 할 시간 다음에 또
Look at that red space.
아 그건 제 역할이라니까.
해줘. 사랑해요 여러분. 2013년 5월 17일 방탄의 로그 여기서 끝. 안녕.
네, 카운트다운 최초 공개 핫 데뷔.
Wow, that was the first one. Wow. Yo, the practices they have in order to become a trainee is way more intense than I thought. 3 to 4 years. First of all, the duration is, I didn't expect this to be this long. It's almost university. It's a time for you to get graduation degrees. You're practicing 8 hours of dancing, not eating enough. Amount of calories you're burning while you're dancing and you're not eating enough, it's going to affect your health so badly, especially for girls, man. I know when you start dieting hard and all that, you know, you're going to have issues with your stomach, your periods, and your chemicals, certain release. It's going to hit you harder. And the injuries, of course, if you're not eating enough calories, you're going to be injury prone. Your bones need healing if you're doing those heavy dances on your ankles and your knees all the time. It is way more tough than I thought. The practices, the dancings, the trainee process of it, that was really interesting to me. The whole K-pop industry as a whole, what is the process of becoming a idol and debuting? And watching these Rise of BANGTAN chapters while I'm starting to watch the music videos chronologically, it's giving me a really good background and story to understand the music videos even better. And after I finish the music videos chronologically, I can go into albums chronologically, and now I'll have a really good context before, you know, what kind of time, what kind of emotions they went through in order to create this album. And I can give you a better commentary and analytics towards the albums and the music I'm listening to. This was really good. Really, really well done. I'll thank you guys for watching. See you guys next episode.